defender. Riccardi, at a very young age, is very well qualified in that regard.
So about to get underway. This is huge. As you boys rightly pointed out, they'd be acutely aware of what's just taken place in Cairns. The door is ajar. We've known it's been ajar for the Giants, but now the Carlton Footy Club would be very much aware of what's just taken place. So we expect it's going to be a frantic opening.
What about some of Ed Langdon's kicks, guys? You're going to load up on them at half-time? Or?
It's a massive game of footy here. We turn our attention to this one. Game 2. Very smart you are, Rui. Be back at half-time. It is the Blues and the Giants.
Cripps around the ground.
Let's get Thursday night footy started. Metricon Stadium, Giants and the Blues. Game number 200 for Mumford. Cottrell leads in the race. Might have been taken high by Kennedy. I think he was.
Hold there.
So the first free kick going the way of the Blues. Just dumps a long one down the line. Almost Mackay. Sitting out the back was Ash. There is the man you spoke about, Richo Whitfield. Going to be run down. Magnificent Martin.
That is brilliant. What a start.
Right out, please, Jack, your kick. Right out, guys. Don't walk through the mark.
Actually didn't know he was there, did he?
No, he didn't. He had no awareness there. Lockie Whitfield.
Don't you love that from your small forwards, especially early in a game, make a defensive statement.
It sets the tone now. Came from the blind spot.
Jack Martin for the perfect start for Carlton. Lots of talent involved in this package. That's brilliant. I reckon if you went and asked David Teague, Richo, he'd say he couldn't imagine a better way to start this game than a run-down tackle and goal inside attacking 50.
Yeah, particularly Whitfield, the man we just spoke about, the danger down there. The architect sets things up from half-back. And forward pressure, big run-down tackles from behind. It lifts the whole group, gives everyone energy.
As we say here, it was a great bit of forward pressure here, and Martin with that chase and pressure and tackle and a perfect finish from him. That's what Carlton didn't have last week against Collingwood. They got the ball inside 50, but they couldn't keep it in there and they couldn't have that pressure. Going back with the structures, Richo, you asked Leon if they were going to play the tall forwards, and he said that Finlayson was going in as a backup ruck. That's incorrect to start the game. They're trying to stretch him at the start. Cameron's got Wiedering, Williamson's got Riccardi, Himmelberg has got Doherty, and Jones is on Finlayson. So they're trying to stretch him up forward tonight.
Back in the middle. So his 45th game at this ground, Jack Martin. He knows a lot about it, being a former Gold Coast player. Kicks the first of the night here tonight. By the way, the umpires tonight, Nick Foote, Brendan Hosking and Simon Meredith. Three very capable gentlemen, as that handball from Doherty goes over the line. So the Blues tonight, what are we going to see? Are we going to see a blistering start from them? GWS very impressive last week, Richo, against Freo.
Yeah, they'd been on the build a little bit, and they finally got some reward on the scoreboard last week.
Pittonet knocks it forward. Simpson, De Boer, Murphy, Betts. Through traffic, Betts. Gets some good traction on the footy. Mackay was there with Lockie Keefe, got the job there tonight.
GWS.
And there'll be a free kick going the way of Zach Williams.
Oh, there. Time back on.
It'll be interesting to see if the Giants can lock it in their forward line. When you've got four players as tall as they have down there, you're going to sacrifice a little bit at ground level.
Williams, in the end, just the long one. Some of those players in the air. Pittonet had a good piece. Mumford, nice. Slicing through Daniels. Has a flying run at it and pushes it to the right, just to behind.
That's all their job is there, Richo. If they go long down the line, all they need to do is bring it to ground, because GWS have got a number of quality small forwards, a number of quality mids that can crumb that and get shots on goal.
Doherty started that, and he was going to go wide to Cripps, and he realised, gee, there were three on his tail. So he went back inside, and the same thing happened anyway. It's going to come back. Williams with a thumping long ball. Here's Himmelberg flying. No mark. Wiedering well done in defence.
Well, that's what they can't do, as Hodgie just pointed out. If you've got all of those talls down there, you cannot be getting out marked like that.
Govan back into the side. Walsh. Little kick, not so good. Mumford clean hands at the ground level. Thought about the kick. Found the handball to Ash. Neat little ball around the corner, and this is pretty good to Daniels. So Daniels looking for a deepish kick inside 50, top of the square it comes. Long one, Himmelberg again, good body position, recovery, thought about it, Green, easiest of goals, and GWS a good start as well. So the Giants away through Toby Green.
Great kick from Daniels, put it to a perfect position to the advantage of Harrison Himmelberg. And he did beautifully at ground level. Did the right thing. I thought he was going to try and snap it around his body. Gave the handball off to Toby Green. A very easy goal for him. A nice start for the Giants. Just some repeat entries for the GWS Giants, and that was a great kick. He got it to a one-on-one and to the advantage side, even when there were numbers down there. Look at that. They had real one-on-one chances, even though there were heaps of numbers there, JB.
Richo, how does a player that dangerous get that much room 15 metres from goal?
He shouldn't. He should have a lot of pressure on him. Obviously, he didn't, and he makes you pay if you give him any time or space inside 50.
Giants fans happy. As BT said, last week just started to get some of what they're famous for back. Got really dangerous with the footy.
And those repeat entries are a great sign for the Giants. They haven't been a high inside 50 team.
Mumford did brilliantly well. Hopper tumbles it forward. Doherty having a good season. Wiedering just thumps it out of there. And a simple mark for Haynes, who often makes difficult marks look simple. Gets it wide and finds Hill. Green again with lots of room to move. Didn't go there. Instead, he thumps a long one. Again to the top of the square. It got through a whole lot of hands. And eventually one touched the ball behind.
Leon Cameron will be happy no matter what. Any win today, because of Melbourne's loss earlier, Richo, in the earlier game, means that they are going to be in the 8. A win of any magnitude will do for them. Ball kick down the middle. Here's Whitfield again, brushing the tackle. Keith, the little handball. Haynes on the end of it from Ash. Back to Ash. Their footwork started to come together last week. Cameron to Hopper. Hopper trying to craft something out here and does it well, although going wide to Green.
Well, they're just dominating possession at the moment. They've got the intercept game going well, and they're not giving it back. Back
from Perth, where they won 1 of their 3 games in the hub over there. Deep ball forward again. And Riccardi it was, the flyer. Gee, he's got such an easy, natural leap for the footy, hasn't he?
Beautiful elevation. We've seen a lot of that. Good hands from Mackay. That's not good. And he'll sit back there all day. Keefe dropped that one, though. Casbolt, now the danger. Betts' hand's good. Fisher gets around. He thought Eddie was a bit more advanced downfield than he was. The ball goes over the line.
And that's where they've let himself down the last couple of weeks. That there should have been an intercept mark for GWS. But Carlton's connection coming from their half-back lines through the middle, they've turned it over 4 or 5 times tonight, and it hasn't necessarily been good defence from GWS. They've been sitting back zoning. It's just been the connection from the half-back and kicking to the Carlton forward.
So free kick
to Pitnet.
Never gone back and contested the ball.
Just taking a listen in here. Shane Mumford, very quietly spoken, with a little bit of a wry grin. Says, OK.
I think he knows that, yep, it's there.
So Pitnet will get the free. Just sort of under the ball. It was marginal, got to say. The big fella, Pitnet, to put him back in front here.
Oh, no.
That's just a shocker, isn't it? That's missing by a fair bit, as he just takes a long look at it in flight and realises it wasn't his best effort. The big fella.
Those ruck infringements, Richo. Both ruckmen 9 times out of 10 look around and have no idea who's receiving a free kick. Good mark taken by Perryman.
You'd like to see that just let go, the ruck. Yeah.
They're big boys, just let them go at it. Green started this game well.
It's a feature of the game. Australian football, so let them go at it.
Toby, what's he got for us tonight? So much excitement every time he gets anywhere near, and that's the sort of stuff he produces. Just a little look away.
Little trick shot.
Nice to Taranto. It's not a great ball forward. There are those 2 big ruckmen we spoke about. Mark Murphy happy to see it out.
Just have a look at De Boer and Cripps. He's tracking him everywhere. As soon as GWS get it, De Boer is running, making fake leads, but making sure he does not get out of his sight. So
Hodge.
they've swapped over there, but he's tracking him very hard.
What do you reckon, Hodgie? A bit more time forward for Cripps?
I'd be thinking so. Watching him last week, he took a really good contested mark in the final stages of that game and had a set shot. Yes, he missed it, but he just brings another area. He's good one-on-one. He's tall enough. And then just part here, as you see, the ball's trying to run off him now.
Perryman going forward. Here's Wiedering. Gathers. Toby Green with the tackle. Not before he got it away. That kick's not so good to Setterfield. And now Hopper just keeps the arms free. Allows Perryman the opportunity to give it to Himmelberg. Now off here to Taranto. Taranto, high ball on the head of Hill. And he just read it. It dropped quickly. And that caught Doherty short.
They've got a really good forward half game happening so far tonight. Dominating the possessions. 9 inside 50s to 2. And earlier this year, they were battling to get it inside 50. So this is a real switch up from 5 or 6 weeks ago.
So Hill, kick of about 40 metres, slightish angle, using his allotted time, preparing professionally. Let's have a look at his style. Just leaving it out to the right-hand side. In the end, didn't make great contact with it. And Liam Jones wanted out of bounds on the full, but I think the umpire's going to have a chat here.
Sure. Sam, anything to add? I'm happy to throw it in, touch on the line. Happy with that. Throw in.
There you go. The consensus of 3 men in the green chatting it over. JB, that's the sort of stuff you can come up with.
Worked it out. Good result for GWS. They get a forward 50 stoppage. Down to Green. Got boot to ball. Not 15 as you heard, so we'll get another boundary throwing.
And just to back you up before Richo, the ball was over on this wing and you could hear the GWS players yelling out forward handball, run, run. It's totally different to when I watched them against Richmond early in the year. That was more kick mark. They're trying to move the ball really fast to get it down to their tall forwards.
Wiedering held in. And we're going to get a third stoppage in the same spot.
And look at that there now. That lets Haynes just set up and do what he wants to do behind the footy if they can get repeat stoppages.
Simpson tried to find Cripps, broken up by Core.
So you can't kick it long because Haynes is ready to go, and you can't kick it short because you're going to have someone on your tail.
Yeah, look, it's really hard to get through there for Carlton.
Once you give a team time like this to lock down, as you say, really hard to get out of that clamp. Here's Casbolt. Clean hand on it. De Boer hunting the footy. Zach Williams around the corner, kept it alive here. Right on the head of his Jeremy Cameron from the side. Really probably had a cleaner look at it than he actually thought. Taranto with a little bit of a fumble, trying to work his way through there. Williamson just got rid of it in the nick of time. Ed Curnow, nifty little handball. Paulson was involved. Walsh was involved. Curnow again. Now Mark Murphy. Game 282 for him tonight. The same as you, Richo, by the way. Spearing kick forward, dropped by Jones. Little tap on there. It was well done by Lloyd to Hill. Hill left foot finish. Missed. Yes, Mark Murphy, game 282 tonight. Richo, you played 282. Of course, the great Andrew Buse and Wayne Swass as well.
Had a great career, Mark Murphy. The problem is here, 11 inside 50s to 2. And they just haven't been able to get scoreboard pressure on Carlton.
Two big boys, and then Haynes able to jump and
Hold there, please.
give him that sort of a run at the ball, and he'll do that all night. One of the best intercept markers in the game. Wobbles a helicopter forward. Riccardi again.
Carlton.
Might have been
Jones.
unrealistic attempt. And it's got to come back to Liam Jones.
Going back to that kick, and you can't just let the GWS tools set up and then go long to them. You need to run with the ball, try and get it out the back to get it into the hands of Eddie Betts and Younes that are a lot smaller, a lot more agile, and a lot quicker than the GWS tools.
Well, Doherty goes long and high. And they get the ball out of bounds.
70% of ball inside forward 50 already GWS. That is a massive amount. They have, Richo, it's just jammed in here. It just will not come out.
They've got it set up really well. They've got the ground position that they like, but they haven't been able to score, Brian. And so often from this, we see Carlton go down and get a goal.
Carlton. Mark Murphy.
This is their chance now. Murphy's needs to go quickly.
A quick release, perhaps a little bit of luck as well, but more skill than that. So here's Mackay. Looks inside, nothing there. Even with his good long left foot boot. High footy to half forward. Casbolt at the back of the pack. Off hands it comes. Spills to Noons. Gets it inside 50. Whitfield to track it down. Wanted to go the boundary line. Didn't want to go back inside. Gee, he was lucky. He was spun a complete 360 and still had hold of it.
So that's a good result for the Blues. 2 long kicks down the line and they've been able to force it out and get a stoppage. So now it's their chance for their defence to press up.
Casbolt, clean possession, Tom Hawkins style. Ball might have been touched off the boot, I think. Hopper went back and tracked it. Curnow ground level. Martin, the goal kicker, involved again.
Play on.
Still hunting at Martin. The ball bobbling around. It ends up getting out to Dow. Good result. Paddy Dow.
Gee, that was like it was coming out of a scrum, wasn't it? It eventually came out with a good feed.
It doesn't matter how you get it out either. Just spill it out any way that you can.
Got to get this bloke playing good footy. Taken 3, I think, overall in the draft a few years back. So massive investment in Paddy Dow. Back in last week, and if he can get a decent run at it and fulfill what they drafted, he's a big part of their future.
So there you go. Carlton soaked up all of those inside 50s down the other end. Giants waste a few chances. They go in. 3rd entry, 2nd goal in front. So you just got to make the most of your dominance in ground position. The Giants didn't. The Blues go in and score.
First goal for him in his 3 matches so far this year.
And that was just smart
tackle, yeah.
Sorry, Joe. That was just smart positioning. All the GWS guys creeped in because the ball was bobbling around. It was just smart by Dow. He just sat out. The ball came out to him. And it was just a smart little snap. But that sort of teaches people not to get sucked into the contest.
Perfect bounce by Simon Meredith. Pitnet advances it. Ash was a little worried about the contact that was coming from behind. Walsh, McGovern throwing himself. Another crack at the footy here was Ash. Got it to Hopper through traffic. Well done. Straightened him up. Went corridor as well. Kick was a little short. Pitnet in front of Finlayson. They can go again here. Williamson pounding ball to half foot. Jack Martin in front of Haynes. A little bit of interference there. Advantage. So Noon's able to go. Tracks the ball forward here. Here's Eddie Betts. Got to get hold of it first. Just bundled him out of the way, did he, to Shaw. Dow tries to jump over the top in hurdle style. And GWS live to fight another day here on their half-back line.
He has had the role on that little man for a lot of years, Heath Shaw.
Did it well then. Good use of his body.
Probably driving to the ground tonight, Richo, thinking I'm too old for this. I've got to find me another job. But they've had a wonderful rivalry, those two on screen. And both had wonderful careers. Curnow ducked under the first tackle.
Carlton, high tackle.
Drew a high free.
650 games between them.
Play on.
Long ball. Martin at the back, Walsh at the front. This is a good start for the Blues. Sam Walsh.
So composed, isn't he?
Nice. 3 in a row.
Yeah. Really impressive young kid. He is the future. There's no doubt about it.
He's hit the scoreboard a little bit more in this 2nd half of the season as well. In good form.
As you see, the free kick and the long kick, that's all the Carlton forwards have to do, as we spoke about the other end. But that's Walsh and his composure. #1 draft pick has continued on his great form so far. He's stepped up in the, I guess, the absence of Cripps with getting tagged so heavily. But you look at that, they've gone inside 55 times for 3 goals compared to the Giants 12 and kicked 1 goal free. So they've been very efficient going forward, and that pressure, as long as they can keep getting it in deep and have their smalls get to the crumb of the ball.
Toyota fan zone there. Leon Cameron a little concerned. Walsh has polled coaches' votes in the last 3 games. Gave a little slap of the face there, Richard. I don't know what that was about, but
not sure. But geez, in good nick, isn't he?
Yeah. He's a fine young gentleman as well. Petrevski-Seton down to Curnow. Clearing ball on the head of Martin. He's got to stand and deliver any action from the back.
Clear out.
Williams got held off, which was impressive. Martin getting all sort of instructions to keep going to Fisher in the pocket, and the Keith arrived late and spoiled, legitimately adjudicated the umpire.
I'll tell you what, he did well then, Keith. He came off his own man, Casbolt. Fisher was on for a long time over the back there. Keith saved a mark for Fisher. His clearances are just going the Blues' way at the moment.
Nice little 5-minute patch for Carlton. Setterfield. He has a look, but no one home. And Williams able to take a simple mark. Dumps a long one for Riccardi. And then back to Whitfield. They love the ball being distributed out of half-back by the number 6. And that's why. What about that?
No,
just thread the needle.
Well, most players probably don't even attempt that kick then. Just go safe and go long.
And there, as you see, it's a real 3-iron, isn't it? The penetration gets to the back. Himmelberg breaks a tackle, and that's what good kicking sets up. Riccardi, 35 out.
That doesn't happen if Whitfield doesn't hit that first kick, Hodgie. Hodgie loved it up there.
And this young man, what a couple of games he's putting together.
Where to the Calder Cannons footy factory down there, JB.
5-2 from set shots. There you go. So comfortable doing this. And as soon as we say that, Bristol, he very nearly missed the lot.
He does look to possess a lot of exciting things that people want to go and watch, though, I reckon, this kid.
Well, we've already seen it in 2 games, the way he launches at the ball.
Choco Williams must have done a great job with his confidence at Werribee last year.
Well, I think at the start of the year last year, he was going to play reserves at Werribee, so he's come a long way.
So Cripps, measured ball out wide here to Williamson. Able to run, one bouncer, can go again if he wants. Straightens, loping long lefty, high ball on the head of Mackay. Strong contested mark. And the Blues looking good here at the moment.
It's just a kick to the perfect spot. As you see, he lets the forwards do all the work, takes his time, and then sits it up. He's not trying to stab it. He's just putting it to the favour. And you'd want there for a big fist coming from Perryman, you'd hope, rather than trying to take that mark. As a defender, you'd want him coming across on that help side and putting a big fist into it.
Mackay, boy, just got it through. The Blues have kicked their 4th. Just managed to squeeze it through there. And, well, looking very accomplished at the moment, the Blues, getting the job done.
It's getting back to Riccardi and Mark Williams, Bristol out at Werribee. That's one of the things that he's always been brilliant at, Choco, isn't it? Instilling confidence in people who play footy for him.
He takes people like that on personally, and yeah, Choco's able to take on a job in a very personable sense and get to know the play and get more out of him and get him to realise his potential. He's so good at that.
Well, I think any player becomes a better player if they think the coach believes in them, and I think that's what Mark Williams did with Riccardi. But down the other end, they've got some big issues because they've only gone in 7 times for 4 goals. Carlton looking very efficient inside forward 50, and Casbolt made a lead towards the boundary line then, and it just drags numbers across. It gives Mackay that chance in the top of the square. Good teamwork in the forward 50.
Hopper, Cornelio dumps it to centre half forward. Finlayson sticks it inside 50. That's nice. Himmelberg in the pocket. They haven't had a good time with their set shot kicking so far in this game.
And it's the old pressure builds, doesn't it? It goes on to the next person now. So now it's Himmelberg's turn. And he has to kick this one. Down the other end, they're not missing. They've had plenty of ball. They've had 14 inside 50s. They're not playing poorly, but they're just not converting.
Harry Himmelberg. He's pushed that across the face. A real wobbly start in front of goal for the Giants. 1 goal, 5.
Doherty. Oh, that one's off the inside of the boot. Fortunately to Noons. Couldn't glove it, though. Walsh. Handball, Murphy to keep it alive. Sets up Petrevski-Seton. Handball to Ed Kernay, just tried to advance it. Good smother in the end by Hopper. Goes back and has another go, Hopper. And that's off the leg. That'll be a free kick going the way of the Blues to Mark Murphy. Eddie Betts. There, of course, his opponent tonight, Heath Shaw. 652 games between them playing on each. So that's amazing, isn't it? De Boer in front had to stand and wait for that cloud around the ear hole there from Mackay.
Time back on. Hold there, Harry.
Eddie De Boer. Just a little swiper on the way through. Legitimate attack on the footy. So this has been a really enlightening opening here for the Blues. Doherty underneath. Wiedering there. Green with the smother. And we'll throw it in with under a minute remaining.
Take a 13-point lead at quarter time, Carlton, all day long. They've been efficient, where the Giants have been very inefficient.
They're winning the ball at the coalface, the Blues.
Ball in. This man got so much to offer, Cornelio. High ball forward. Well done, Jones. Wiedering and then Doherty. Thumping long ball. Whitfield almost. Curnow around the body. It's going to be a good ball. It just carries Core. Now it's a 2v2. Well done, Aidan Core. Controlled that beautifully to Cornelio. 24 seconds left. They've got to find something out of this. Ash. Handball wide to Kennedy. Get it in. Finlayson controls it and then gets around Jones. What's he got coming at him? Nothing. So he dumps a high, long one. Lands on a couple of heads. Cameron gets the handball wide. Petrevski gets involved, and that'll just about do it.
Yeah, and when you win the contested football by +14 in a quarter, you're doing a fair bit right. That's going to keep you in most games of footy. And the Giants may have dominated inside 50s in that first 15 minutes, but from then on, they hardly got their hands on the ball. The Blues were winning it first and were efficient going inside 50s.
Phil Davis absent hurts too, doesn't it?
It does.
Big defensive post.
Cripps only the one disposal in that first quarter. Spent a fair bit of time forward.
Second term. Massive game for these two clubs. The Blues have to win every game they play in pretty much from now on. Hopper hovering over the top.
Can't get that.
Setterfield on top of him. And for the Giants, especially with Melbourne dropping that game, as BT mentioned, suddenly the door opens up. Mumford in game number 200 to the ground. Taranto. He's taken straight away.
Can't get it.
How many double milestones have you called, JB? 200th for GWS, 100th for GWS, 200th career. Not many.
No. Well, Sean Higgins earlier this year, I think he's played 100 for both North and the Dogs.
Won't be any cheering, no, I wouldn't have thought.
No. Inside 50 go the Giants. No one there. Deep and wide, but the ball sits on its end and then Jones sees it over.
I think Mitch Robinson is the only other one that I can think of to do 200 and 100 in the same game. Now, there's been a free kick paid here.
Deliberate.
And Finlayson.
No, Jeremy, come back where you were.
Like another look at that.
So this on his favoured left boot here, Finlayson.
Hold there, hold.
So knows exactly what he wants to do with it around the corner here. Feels very comfortable with that, and that's beautifully executed, although hitting the post. Not a bad effort indeed. There's your look, Richo.
Yeah, called deliberate. Yeah, well, he punched it straight out. You've got to at least grab it and walk it over the line, perhaps there.
Perhaps he thought that Himmelberg's hands were in the same picture.
Beautiful kick from Williamson to McGovern. And he punches it down the line, but that doesn't quite have the carry to get to Martin. And Haynes intercepting again, short to Ash. They elect the switch. Core. Kick just misses Finlayson. Outnumber here for the Blues. Eddie went to ground at exactly the wrong time.
He apologises. GWS, the only club to have won a final in each of the past 4 years. Are they going to be there this year? That's the question that this game is asking tonight. Wiedering has continued to improve his game this year. Stagnated there for a year or so after his initial flourishing start. And the long ball to Mackay, and that's a good contested mark again in front of Lockie Keefe.
That's their 5th contested mark, Carlton. 2nd for Harry Mackay. Wiedering is just playing another superb game down back. He's had 7 disposals, putting that one inside 50.
Hold that line, Harry. He's on the mark.
So the Giants went in with the 4 tolls, and they haven't taken a contested mark yet.
So Mackay kicked the last goal of the first quarter. 35-metre kick, that's no problems. Drifting now, and did fade late.
The only issue with that, Richo, is if you do have 4 tools and you go in there, they're all flying against each other.
Yeah.
You need some communication. You need to understand that it's one person go for it, the others sit down, and they'll get their time eventually. But they've had too many blokes going for the same ball.
Long from core. And held up is Whitfield. And the ball is going to be handed back to the umpire. In fact, I mean Perryman, who was held up. So another contested situation won by the Blues. That one from Ash sees the ball go out of play.
Shane and Mark, thank you. Hold the meeting, guys.
Contested possession, 38-23, Carlton's way, Richo.
It's a big win.
They've got to make a statement. Held goalless in the second half against the arch enemy last week, the Blues.
Get back, Carlton.
And
Patrick
Cripps, who's been quiet, gets a free kick.
Mummy just saw the opportunity to try and hit the opposition's best player. Stared at Mummy just to try and slow things down, but unfortunately go away free kick.
Cripps able to get around Mummy pretty easily. Long ball forward, off hands it comes to Ash. Had a bit of it already. Williams had to get rid of it very, very quickly. Toby Green couldn't track it, so this gives Simpson the opportunity for an uncontested ball here. Neat little kick up the sideline is good and finds Walsh. Walsh wants to go back inside. Look, Petrevski-Seton was sitting there. Daniels now covers that. So forced to just kick it long and high and hope that Mackay can get on the end of it. Up they fly. McGovern was in front. Curnow tried to pave the way. Hopper enables GWS now to kick forward to Green. Green trying to shake off the Walsh tackle. Through they come. Dow, beautiful sidestep. Bounce through the middle. Kick out wide, not his best. Gave Williams more chance than it gave Noons. Noons fast handball. They're away here now with Haynes. Got the ball wide and GWS looking good.
Lloyd gave it back to Haynes. Wobbles it to Himmelberg. Outside 50. Wants to go straight away. Cameron in good marking position. Well done, Jones.
Just hung in the air a little bit too long. He tried to get back and do the right thing, Himmelberg, but didn't get back far enough off the mark and then ended up kicking it far too high.
And he had a low kick to a leader on the right as well if he wants, but I can understand why he chose Cameron. But
it was a tough kick, though, because it was always going to hang in the air. That wheel and go to the fat side probably was the better option then.
Yep, absolutely. Simpson down the line. Whitfield, can they trap it in, give themselves a couple of opportunities? And a goal here, Green wide. Simpson did well, keep it alive. Martin, quick hands. Good work, the Blues, although Simpson putting Walsh under some real Cornelio pressure. Now Murphy hovering there as well. That won't come out. Umpire may blow the whistle and give a free.
You drag the ball under.
He does against Kennedy. And we'll go to Mark Murphy.
I love that. You must knock it out. Most of the time, you've got zero opportunity to knock it out.
And the tackling team know that, Richo, so they just descend on you with about 4 blokes.
Or make an effort and they've got one hand tied behind your back.
That's impossible.
It is strange.
Martin. That's not a great ball. Straight to Kennedy. He sees something he likes. It's Williams. That's not great delivery either. Nunes. He might get a free out of that. Lloyd got into his back.
Last bit fell on his back.
Wants to go quickly. Curnow, look out. Keith came charging at him. Great focus on the footy from Ed Curnow. And it ends up with a shot on goal for Mackay.
Well, great by both. Great by Ed Curnow. But great by Lockie Keith again for coming off his man and affecting that spoil. How good's the skills on Eddie Betts here, though?
And the toughness of Curnow. I know there's been a lot of talk this week about head injuries and stuff, and don't like to see it at all, but he'll be okay, I think.
So Mackay, he's fanned that to the left. Stays in. Walsh taken in the tackle. Cripps somehow released the handball, and Walsh has helped over the line.
He's got that look about him, Harry Mackay, tonight, though. He's looking really dangerous. Could have had 3 goals.
I want to ask you what that look is, Richo.
Well, he's just looking like he's in the zone, BT. You should know what that is. You used to get in there once in the Blue Moon.
Himmelberg. Oh, boy. Once in a bluey. There's Riccardi. To Hill. Hill's little kick backwards to Green was perfection there from GWS.
Hill's work right then was outstanding. He was standing beside Petrevski-Seton and just took off on him. And then to have the composure here, most young guys would normally blaze towards a goal square or have a shot, but just have the composure just to look inside and hit Green.
That was brilliant, Hodgie.
Well, if there's ever a man to straighten the Giants up in front of goal, this is the man that can do it, because I reckon he blocks out those previous misses. I don't think he lets the pressure build in his mind.
Good set shot form. And that needs to come back a lot, and it won't. Not in desperate need yet, but 11 points down here to the Blues.
Haven't we seen that this year?
Yeah.
The team's just starting to miss, and it just runs through the whole game. 1 goal, 8.
Play on. You, mate.
And I reckon 4 of them, Richo, are real gettable set shots.
Well, he doesn't miss them normally, Green.
Core. That's got way too much on it.
It's the one area of the game that hasn't improved in the modern era. Everything has basically improved and got better. But scoring opportunities, you know, haven't, because it's probably more of a mind game than it is a skill game.
Yeah.
Low bullet. There's Dow. Not sure how he disposed of that ball. In fact, I'm pretty sure he didn't. Tumbles it to half forward, and Keith sees it over.
I didn't think he tapped it. Throw it in.
Tell you what, on these boundary throw-ins, JB, this is a good one to have a look at as we see that little throw there. One-handed handball. Have a look how far the players go back. Almost at the centre square. That's 30 metres away. And that's why often you see the ball falling short from the throw-in, because the boundary umpire just can't make that distance.
Hold there. Hold there.
They're getting back so far. Williamson.
Play on.
And BT, that's why you normally see the players. They actually are on momentum, and the ball goes over the head because they're watching where the ruckmen start, and they actually get into the feet of the ruckman, but they're running over the ball.
Yep. Taranto. Oh, boy. That's not one that Jeremy Cameron really wanted to deal with, but he did a great job at it. Green, neat little kick to Riccardi on the lead. And Jones asking for a bit of cover.
Yeah, nice touch kick inside 50 by Toby Green here. He's a beautiful kick. Just watch this here. He just weights it perfectly.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? There's a real bounce and feel about this guy. Let's have a look here. Jake Riccardi in his 3rd game of footy. Big kick. That's going to be a goal. That is a monster kick. Or was it touched on the line? They're going to look at this. What a magnificent kick, though, to get anywhere near that.
I believe it's behind. Can we please make sure the ball is touched before the line?
Sure. Score review. Umpire's call is touch behind. Please confirm.
They've got to prove otherwise, and I don't think they can with that. I think the umpire is going to say contact there. The ball is in line with the post.
We can see the ball is clearly touched before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Good quick decision.
Hodgie.
The frustrating thing there is, how can you let Martin, who's maybe 5'10", touch the ball on the line? Where are the talls down there? We've said GWS have had 4 talls standing 195 centimetres. Surely you're on the line trying to shepherd it through from a bloke who's kicking it from 52 metres out.
Riccardi shaking his head probably about that.
Yeah.
Simpson to bring it in. That's just attention to detail, Hodgie, isn't it? Sometimes it doesn't exist.
Exactly right. And normally players, and I understand players are that keen to get set up in the zone because you don't want a rebounding coast-to-coast kick-in point, but you've got to have someone down there just being the smart, sensible thing and trying to shepherd it through.
It's the little things that make the better teams even better, isn't it?
Push in the back, Carlton.
Nunes, I think it was, got
straight
the
over his
push.
head.
Well, they're winning free kicks, Carlton, because they're just a little bit hungrier in at the footy at the moment. They're having a massive win around the contested possession.
Ball gets to the back. Ash wants to find a teammate by hand. Does so. It's Cornelio. Now Williams. And Wiedering pretty happy to see it over.
That's one thing I've noticed down here is Carlton was so well set up behind the ball. If it's not Wiedering dropping off his tall run up, that last one then it was Doherty sitting back there, making sure that it's not going to be a foot race. We saw what happened with Hill beating Petrevski-Seton before, but they're trying to make sure that whenever GWS look up the field, that Carlton do have a spare player back there, which is halting their free flow play.
Casbolt clearing the path for Dow, and Dow couldn't quite capitalise on what was created there for him. Walsh, ricochet ball, Paulson. Little left footer out wide, hung in the air again, and Ed Curnow had to absorb all of the punishment over the top.
And the other thing in this quarter is Lockie Whitfield has only had one disposal, and it was an ineffective one. So he's had no influence on the game.
Tell you what, Ed Curnow again has got up very sore. He's one tough bugger. That's twice in the space of 5 minutes where he's copped the full brunt of someone into him.
Yeah, no, he absorbs a lot, Hodgie. There's no question there. Very brave and physical player. Walsh dragged down, not before he got the handball away. Williams, Hopper, Cornelio, just out of bounds. Gee, it was umpire. Goodness gracious me, that was out of bounds.
Marking interference.
Free kick to Taranto. And no advantage taken there, so Taranto with the free.
You didn't get near the ball, Sam.
Have a look at this. That's the free kick. And the out of bounds before that was slightly more interesting to me, but here is Cornelio.
Blues fans not happy with that free kick. The count's 12-4. I think they're going all right, Richard. Can't keep people happy always. But from a GWS point of view, that has got to hit the scoreboard.
Well, Carlton have stopped. Look at this here. They just cannot move the ball at the moment. Set up really well.
5 minutes out from half-time. Just one goal.
You'll be looking for GWS to slow it up. The runner on the boundary line is holding up a sign. So by the look at their play here, it's a kick mark, slow things up, take a bit of the zap out of the game. They're either going to try and suck some time out of the clock or else just go long down to a couple of their tools.
Bobby Hill goes back.
Hodgie, why would you be doing that when you're behind? What would the thinking be there?
What they're feeling out here is, and we can feel it as well, is just Carlton have got the momentum. The ball's been played in their half of the ground, and all they're trying to do is just suck back some of that momentum just to try and get a long contest down the line, maybe a stoppage in their forward half where we know how good they are at stoppages.
Hill's got some tricks. Dumps a long one looking for Cameron. Can they crash in behind and make something happen? The small forwards, no. And on transition, Paulson, dangerous handball. Haynes was there. Cottrell came through, just couldn't be clean. Thought he might have been held, actually. Haynes came back onto the footy. Ash, Eddie Betts. Handball back to Cottrell. End on end. Cripps was there. Not given access to the footy. Well done. He's sure nice and clean. And then Haynes bashes it out of there.
Copped it on the back of the head then, McGovern. There's Doherty just tidying things up.
Bobby, thank you.
And finds an opportunity with Williamson. Williamson with the lead of Martin. Well cut off it was by Finlayson, I think it was. Now it's going to come back again. Williamson reloads. This time a better ball. McGovern hands on it. Couldn't get it off. Little one here from Cottrell. Tackle to the ground by Kennedy. Got to go here. Haynes, he does. Risky kick, though. Where's the wall? Here it is. So Jones has got Simpson back inside, as you can see. Where does he go? Horrible little kick along the ground. In the end, it works for Cottrell. Able to pick it up and shove it down the throat of McGovern. There's Fisher in the hands of the doctor.
Yeah, we got Fisher. He just copped a heavy one into the ribs in that play through. He just got up off the ground. He's probably down for a good 45 seconds. As you see, he's nice and open. And just it wasn't a free kick. Got him in the side. But he's slowly walking off.
A bit of a rib tickler there for Fisher. It's been good for them in recent weeks.
That was pretty sloppy there by Himmelberg. He just He just didn't expect it to be kicked there to McGovern.
50 metres out. And you can see the result for yourself. Haynes trying to mark over the top now. He gives Walsh just a little bit of a chance, an opportunity here. Plenty of jumpers around. Eddie's got it. Now, was it touched? Was it touched?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Off the boot. Eddie Betts tonight, 329th game, JB. Draws level with a couple of Brownlow winners in Gary Dempsey and Sam Mitchell.
What a star he's been. Ash had to work hard in the end.
And those other guys too. Gary Dempsey was a prolific Brownlow bowler, and so was Sam Mitchell.
Ash measures a nice ball to Taranto.
Take about 12, 13 marks a game, Gary Dempsey.
Yep, he was good.
Hill! Very nicely done over Paulson. Just hovered. Back to Heathshaw.
See, Richo, that release kick backwards is a strange one. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Williams, and that's dangerous.
Contact.
Centre field, taken high by Lloyd. So, minute and a half left here for the Blues. McGovern waited. Through came Simpson. Handball now to Murphy. For some reason wanted his left side, then he came back and missed.
Was an interesting one, Richo, that one of Hill's. Why he decided to go backwards. He would have been deep inside 50. Instead, just as Hodgie said before, wanting to soak up a bit of time and a bit of composure. But, gee.
I understand if you're coming back to go out the other side where you've got to switch, but it just wasn't on then.
I reckon he was deep enough to go then, but he didn't even look. That's the thing. Here he is now. It's almost like he knew what he had to do and he was going to cooperate with the team rules, and that was it. Hopper. So you can't knock him for that. Here he is, Hill. Skillful player. So 1 minute to go. One goal kicked in the game so far for GWS. Don't think anyone's kicked the goal in this quarter at all. Pitnet advances the ball high to half forward. Mackay, who's looked dangerous. Shaw to Whitfield to Haynes. Sold some foot candy very, very nicely then. Goes longer down the wing. Mumford should mark. He's interfered with. Off hands Daniels.
He can go. What's he got ahead of him? Finlayson's about it. Toby Green trying to work for him. Finlayson roped the ball in. Daniels following up. Green lurking. Numbers though with the Blues. Wiedering a little fumble. High ball out of defensive 50. Mumford. Hand to it. Couldn't hang on. Ball thumped forward by Perryman.
Oh, Carlton.
And a free kick is going to the skipper.
It's unlucky, mate. Set it up.
Telstra tracker, Sam Walsh. Distance covered, 6.5, number one on the ground. You can see why he's drawing breath there on the interchange bench. He's been working extremely hard. Average speed, number one on the ground as well.
Good performance. No goals kicked in the quarter. 7 behinds is all we've had in perfect conditions.
$12 points of margin, so much at stake for both the GWS Giants and the Carlton Football Club. Boys, when you go in at a half-time score of 1-9, then you cannot expect to be in front, and they aren't. It's the worst accuracy we've seen in a half. Well, don't underestimate Jacob Wiedering.
Yeah, but who's a better athlete?
Jacob Wiedering.
Oh.
Let's see where Patrick
Don't know
Cripps...
about that, Gaz.
I'm not sure if Patrick Cripps, we can get a shot of him to see whether he's gone into the middle or whether he's gone forward, because that is the question we want answered, given that he's only had the 3 possessions as well. So.
And Rude said he
Carlton
saw
are
it
up for this
half-time.
fight. They are up for this fight. They're not going to hand this game to GWS. So both teams have finals aspirations. Who wants it more? Who wants it more, and who's able to capitalise on the opportunities presented?
Well, they're getting it on the outside, the Giants, but at 21 or 22 down from a contested possession point of view on the inside. So he'll have a big say in it, Sam Walsh. We know he'll be running the game out strongly. All on the line. This is where you find out about players and clubs. Big half to come for the Blues and the Giants.
Well, the Giants, we shouldn't be surprised. They've scored 18 points or less in 8 of their 15 first halves this year, so they need to find something pretty quickly.
Correct weight. They haven't been big scorers, Richo, as you've pointed out.
Holding the ball, Carlton.
Cripps with the first win of the second half. New bit of turf from the Cole centre circle there, as Cripps just puts this ball on the head of Pitnet. And he outdoes Kennedy pretty easily in the air and gets a look from 40 directly in front.
Yeah, the Giants have made a structural change, guys. They've got Himmelberg, who they had the 4 tall forwards. Himmelberg's now pushed down to the back line, so hopefully got a little bit more movement and a bit more free-flowing forward line.
Now, he's never kicked a career goal, Mark Pitnet. He's played 19 games so far. This would be his first. Does it bend enough? Oh, it sliced the inside of the post. So still yet to register a goal, the big fella.
Just watching Hodgie, those big long balls in. Phil Davis, the man with the incredibly straight back, is being missed structurally for the Giants.
Yeah, he has. They've taken a number of contested marks tonight, and as you said, Phil's been that sturdy for the Giants for the last number of years, so missing him out there tonight.
Great mark from Green.
Caught a glimpse of straight backer there.
We did, and got the glasses on, sort of Superman look about him as over the top. Whitfield, Lloyd then, little handball. Got a strike early, you sense here, the Giants. They cough that up. Paulson outside of the boot, a little too neat. Himmelberg steps around and then pumps it inside 50. Where are these big forwards for the Giants? Really haven't seen them yet. Riccardi at the back. And that ball stays in. Kennedy comes and wins it. Well done. Handball to Finlayson. And his left foot ball goes through. Good start, Giants.
That's really disappointing by the Carlton defence there to allow Kennedy to keep that ball alive and get it back inboard. They should have been setting up at the very least for a boundary throw in there. The Carlton defence. Look, I think the good thing about that play by the Giants, after Green took that mark on the wing, he tried to get it moving quickly. They tried to play on with some forward handballs, and that's how they have to play. He can't just keep going down the line. Wiedering, Jones are too good at intercepting and spoiling.
So have a look at this. It was almost when the 3 Carlton players, or 2 of them, got together here. It was, you do that, no, you do that, no, you do that. They actually got confused about which role each other was to play. And in the meantime, bang, Kennedy keeps it alive. Just go and get the footy. Jones thought that his mate, who is that there, Richo? Is it Cunningham? Williamson was going to go and get it, and vice versa. Play on. So back in the middle we go. So they are now within just 7 points here, GWS. Remember, a win for them, and they go into the 8 at the expense of Melbourne. Curnow to Murphy. Is this the reply? Green gets back, and intercept mark there for Toby Green. A very timely one. He said, come on, someone needs to get out this side of the ground. Jeremy Cameron's there, almost a one-hander for Wiedering. He did it magnificently. Wiedering, little kick around the corner. Dangerous here with Martin.
Martin on the left. Sticks it to Nunes. The kick was a little high and broken up by Himmelberg, who's gone back.
Well, already you can see that Toby Green, he's lifted his intensity. He's trying to lift his team, and they need something out of Jeremy Cameron. Wiedering just had his way down there with Cameron. He hasn't had a kick. He hasn't taken a mark yet, Jeremy Cameron.
Again, a short ball in. Big Mummy goes after it in game number 200. Fisher. Handball to Nunes. Sunk into the tackle, so a good bit of umpiring. Ash went and got it. De Boer knocked as he kicked the ball, not 15, you heard. Pitternet took the mark, and then he got wrapped up by the big man. At the back, Simpson. End on end. Green dropped what he normally would have taken. Eddie went to ground. Handball over the top, Murphy. Here's Walsh. He gets closed down. Over the top, handball. Martin misses.
Oh, they're battling for their lives here at the moment, the Giants. They are battling. I feel the intensity's risen, as you just pointed out, through Toby Green, and it's catching now. But the Blues are trying to...
But they're in the 8 tonight, the Giants, if they win, and the Blues are hanging on for their season as well. Must stay alive.
Pushed out of the contest by Petrevski-Seton. Was it Jack Martin? Ball now wide, and there is Cameron. He's got to mark that. Was he dealt with? Well, is this his first kick of the game, Richard?
Yes, 3 handballs, first kick coming up.
Jeremy Cameron here. He's got to get involved in the game.
I think he thought Wiedering was right on him then, as is the pressure that Wiedering puts on.
down the line here. This kick to a 2-on-1. Daniels kept it alive. Got it off there to Perryman. Advanced it inside 50. Did well to Taranto, but the spoil from the Blues was exceptional.
Sometimes when you're being blanketed as a forward, you can finally get out on your own, BT.
Yep.
For an uncontested mark, but you're feeling like they're there when they're not. It's just that referred pressure that Wiedering, he's been over him all night, and he thought he was there then. Dropped an easy mark.
Mumford might have taken a bit of that in the face, and then Daniels. Geez, there's a lot of players slipping over. Walsh, handball to Curnow. He's wrapped up by Mumford. Good heat from the big man. That's out in the full. And the Blues will get some relief through Doherty. Low-scoring game, so the Giants will feel like they're right in it. Ball in.
So boundary throw in.
Levi up.
Here, as we see an exchange with Ruckman, Pitnet comes off, Casbolt comes on. So back to a 7, nothing in it if you're the GWS. Curnow, ball inside 50 without great direction. Haynes able to cut it off. Now, can they find anything on this side of the ground? They're going to have a go now. Keith needs to be steady here. Mackay's got him, good tackle. Didn't know he was there. And this will be a Mackay free from range as well. Just didn't know he was there at all, Lockie Keith.
That was excellent defence there from Carlton. Curnow had the long kick in. Yes, there was an intercept mark from the Giants, but all the Carlton players went and found a GWS player. They went and manned him up down the line, so they had to try a switch. The switch didn't hit the target. It was a great chase pressure.
Not quick enough to give the handball, Lockie Keith, as Mackay comes in and doesn't look like it's going to hurt them too much on the scoreboard. That'll be a behind. Or will it?
You're following him up, right? I believe it's a behind. Yes. We just checked that the ball crossed the behind line before being punched back into play. Sure. Score review.
Well,
umpire's call is a behind.
Yeah, fair
Please
way.
check across the line.
Fair way behind the behind line.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball has crossed the back of the behind line.
Shortest
Decision on the
review in
scoreboard.
history.
The only thing with those reviews is you can't get a quick play on. You know, if it's a tight game late, you don't want to be having a review there when you're trying to get a fast break.
Let's get it right first, Richo.
But he's just got to have confidence in his own eyes there.
Yeah, but if the umpire's not sure.
Yeah, I don't reckon.
I think Richo's point is he probably should have been.
Well, he wasn't. That's my point.
Inside 50, thumped away from McGovern. Dow. Just.
Sometimes I'm sure when I'm not sure.
Around the body, and that ball goes out of play, so it's going to be thrown in. Inside forward 50.
You can see the long kick in here, but they're going for a one-on-one with Green, but I think it's Doherty there, read it well. Just floated across, took the nice mark and got a re-entry back inside forward 50.
And Blues get one back here. Mumford.
High tackle.
And he's going to get a free here, Big Mummy, and he then had Jacob Hopper land on him. Wants to give it straight to Hopper. Good decision. Long ball down the wing. Green at the back. Just forced to make a contest. Williamson wants the left side. Did that really well.
He did. Slotted up Walsh. Petrevski-Seton. And Ash, who punches it away, could have been deliberate in the end because he had no one near him.
Shane, you're up. And Levi.
I always say if you can get 2 fists to it, you can get 2 hands to it. Just mark it. Just back yourself.
In fact, I reckon that one would have been a chest mark in the end.
Especially if it's next to the boundary line, because if you do fumble it or drop the ball, it's going to go out of bounds.
Absolutely. Setterfield. Murphy. Bowled out of the way. Little knock here from Perryman. Taranto there as well, upended by Cottrell. Setterfield was in there. Kennedy. Taranto, funny little kick. Walsh gathers, always makes something happen. Sam Walsh, high ball, dangerous ball here for GWS. Flew him, Finlayson. In fact, Himmelberg it was in there, and eventually held up. Himmelberg appealing for the free. I'm not sure why, Hodgie.
Levi, Shane.
Yeah, he didn't get much of an option, but that's where Carlton have been better tonight. They've been just putting it at the top of the goal square and letting his teammates go to work.
GWS, you're holding his arm.
Ash will receive a free
Before
kick.
he got the ball, you're holding his arm down, Mark.
You can see the massive players ahead of him. Try and pick your way through that. That's why they eventually just have to dump a long one. He sees the short option he likes. It was Lloyd. Cornelio, little measurer. Not able to find it. Riccardi, through came Daniels. Dangerous part of the ground to turn the footy over. Doherty. Straight back for Haynes, who reads it so beautifully coming in.
They were almost out on that occasion, weren't they? Yeah. GWS almost got it over the top. So there's definitely seeing a little more intensity there, but I'm super impressed with the way that Carlton are answering this desperation of GWS here at the moment. There's Mumford.
That's a great ball because you've got a bit of corridor play now. It opens up the other side of the ground.
Cornelio, a really ugly, horrible kick. When they needed to be neat and tidy, they weren't. Doherty.
Go for the squaring ball. Cottrell. Now they've got some room to move the Blues. Murphy measures it inside 50. Harry Mackay. Nice ball movement for Carlton.
Well, that area where Cornelio turned the ball over is just the worst place of all time to turn it over. It just opens up the other way for Carlton. They always had someone out. Keith had to try and come off. Murphy was the overlap, and that leaves his man Mackay.
Oh, the set shot kicking in this game has been extraordinarily bad.
He could have had 5 goals,
Put
Harry
the ball
Mackay.
back. You've got to wait for the signal.
He
Go
has
back to
looked
the bucket, please.
and ready to dominate this game.
Yep.
You know, it could have been 5, Richo. You're right. He's got total control of that forward line at the moment.
And you don't, the way the game's played these days, you don't often have an opportunity to kick a bag of goals, and he could have tonight.
So trying to get over the top here, the Giants. Long ball in from Perryman, or in fact, Core it was, to Daniels. Out wide now, Cornelio.
Hold there, Sam. Play on.
Back inside, Hopper demanding the footy by way of hands there, didn't get it. Kennedy does. Trying to run him down, Nunes, and got him. Came from a long way back.
Great work, Nunes, but at least Kennedy tried to take the game on. He tried to break it open. Leon's frustrated.
Move it on. Play on.
Nunes. Touch ball. So McGovern's going to have to go.
Play on.
He did to Murphy. Williamson. Very high ball for Mackay. Fisher out. Gee, they're an interesting watch as we see this great run-down tackle from Nunes. We watched the Giants last week, Richo, and you just start to think that excitement and sizzle's coming back, and at the right time of the year, and they're pinging it around and looking so impressive. They have battled to get any sizzle into anything they're doing tonight so far. We've got time for them to find it. Hopper, Kennedy. That sort of sums a bit of it up.
Do you think they're restricted by method at the moment, Richo? The method in which they play, because they're such a young, athletic side.
Well, early in the game, they dominated. That was, 8 inside 50s to 1, and they didn't convert.
Kick inside here, almost marked there by Core. They get it outside. Go back to you in a moment, Richo. Cornelio knocked down to Daniels, got one high, got rid of the footy, but not legally.
Carlton. No,
BT,
play stopped.
The Giants aren't playing their normal style, but I think a lot of it's got to do with Carlton. Their intensity defensively has been outstanding. You saw Nunes' run-down chase. Some of the work that Ed Curnow is doing off the ball to come across and help support Toby Green, so they're trying to get him a 1v1 over on the side. As you see, the kick inside 50, a bit too high for Betts. But it's just it's Carlton's defensive workload and their effort that's making the Giants look a little bit slow.
Haynes. Polson caught in the tackle, wrapped up. That's not going anywhere. Petrevski-Seton tried to make it work. Cameron as well. De Boer right on his tail is Murphy. Normally it's the other way around. Now Fisher gets an open, clean look. Eddie just going too fast at the footy. Travelling the other way. Keefe around the corner, and now Shaw with a clearing ball.
At the back, it was Hill, but he couldn't really access the ball in the air. But now they might just get out. Daniels to Toby Green. So dangerous, ball in hand. He He sizes it up from downtown and fans it to the right. That's 2 goals 10.
Richo, if you were Mackay down the other end, what would you be saying to Eddie Betts, who may have got in front of the leading full forward?
Play your role.
I'd say quickly get out of the way in no uncertain terms, Hodgie.
You've got to play your role, and Harry's on fire. So just get around him, and if he doesn't mark it, it's probably going to come to the front at the moment.
I've played against you for a number of years, Richo. You wouldn't have been that polite.
Centre field. Little wide ball here to Martin. Walsh wide. Goes short of that to Ed Curnow. Just a little bit of controlled footy here from the Blues. Sensing that GWS were looking to make a breakthrough, perhaps. Wiedering told to go. Goes back to where all the traffic is. Good ball, Noons. He wants to go, tempting, inside the corridor. Good opportunity, Martin. Handball away. Here they go. Paulson. Shot at goal. Misses to the right.
Great run from behind from Paulson. They just look a lot more likely, Carlton, at the moment. They're really defending hard, the Giants. They're hanging on.
1 goal 12 since quarter time in this game. Quite extraordinary. Finlayson. Long and wide. Good mark taken by Casbolt.
Where you are.
Something's got to break. Big Levi dumps to a 1v2 and simple mark in the end for Finlayson. Cripps thought he was held out of it.
Not sure why Levi pulled his kick there. And he can kick it 65 metres and he's chipped it about 50. Put it out the back, so it's a 1v1 contest with Cripps.
Again, long and high down the line. Nest of players in the air and over it goes.
3 contested marks tonight for the Giants, and at the moment, if they don't start taking a few, they're going down the line. They're not going to get through.
Concern on the face of Leon Cameron. 2-year extension signed in the last 48 hours. Good news for him, his birthday as well. Cameron was speaking about the coach, and Green, the star. Slices through. Riccardi. Hopper. Cornelio. Intercept mark.
Gee, this is a real stalemate at the moment. Kennedy, Hill, can someone break it? No. And GWS look all tied up in methodology at the moment, and too scared to go outside and play a little more naturally.
They haven't had a good forward entry in this third quarter.
Looks stiff, haven't they? Wiedering, it really is a gigantic stalemate. Ash gathers, little one in there from Perryman. Hopper over the top. Zach Williams, I think, no, it was Cornelio bundled over the line there by Cottrell and Ash as well.
Rux. Thanks, guys.
Inside 50s.
Hold the meter, please.
14-5 in the way of the Blues in this quarter. Boundary umpire struggling to hoist it in the average of 18 metres. Mumford shot out the handball to Hopper. Setterfield doing well in heavy traffic. Cottrell, just any sort of banana with distance will be good from there. Does well, but Shaw getting on the end of it. They're pushing up, JB. They're gradually locking the ball in their end.
Hey, Shaw.
Move it on. Play on. You mate.
Long ball to a heap of players, and Jones, brilliant.
And that's what he does as well as anyone in the competition. Not just intercept marks, but contested intercept marks. Liam Jones, so good at it.
To Walsh. He decides to go corridor. What about that kick to McGovern? Should result in a shot on goal. McGovern just pounds it to the top of the square. And look at the old boy, the heater. He found something.
I reckon he's done that before, JB.
Yes.
Oh, memories of him doing that many times. Gee, that was a good mark by Glick Jones. He didn't have any back to work with. It was all just athleticism. So after getting it to their end, the Blues bite back very, very quickly. Taranto through the middle of the ground. Hill's kick off the ground, not so good to Murphy with the ricochet. Martin out wide to Simpson. Here they go on the attack again, the Blues. Simpson with a little chiseler. Casbolt marks. Can he wind up and go all the way? It's a high ball in the square. One-on-one. Curnow's there. Cameron's just had the stuffing knocked out of him, and he will recover. That would have been a disaster, the numbers they had there.
Not sure what the free kick eventually was paid for.
I think because Ed Curnow dived on the ball.
Right, so holding the ball will go Himmelberg's way. And that's just going to go straight to Williamson. Some of the decision-making, ball in hand, has been astounding tonight.
We have had one goal kick, JB, in basically 2 quarters of football in perfect conditions.
Do you reckon that there's a real fatigue factor, I think, starting to kick in a little bit?
One goal, 15 in the last 45 minutes.
And the conditions, as you said, BT, conditions are absolutely perfect. There's a little bit of a breeze, but as far as the disposal going inside forward 50, all the accuracy at goal, it should be better than this.
Thumping left foot on Tom Williamson. What's he got? He just kicks it into the man on the mark. It's a weird old night. Cottrell, high inside 50. Big defensive fist. It comes to the back. Murphy's going to be gifted a goal. Mark Murphy gets the Blues 5th. And we have a 15-point ball game. It has been just a weird old night. Ball gets to the back. And the gentleman on screen was the only one anywhere near it.
Look at this, and Lockie Worfield right in the mush, Richo.
And then Cottrell just bangs it in. And look at the numbers there. Nothing a coach hates more than a ball getting over the back like that, particularly with the amount of numbers that they had back. And in a tight game where there's not many goals left in this game, the way it's been played, that is gold for Mark Murphy and Carlton.
I guess it's good reward for repeat entries. That was their 17th inside 50 to kick so many points. So it was good hard work this quarter. They finally got a result.
17 entry, and they finally get a goal. Goal apiece here in the third. Taranto bangs in, and Paulson able to stay as well. Free kick going with Taranto. Few seconds left here, wasting valuable time on the ground. Needs to get it on the boot, and not going to get a mark out of this now.
I reckon Whitfield was on.
Taranto is there, but the siren will sound. It'll end at 1 goal all, plus all of those points. Too many to remember in that quarter. And it's a real old stoush going on here at the moment. The Blues here at 3/4 time lead it by 15 points, 5-8-38. The Giants 2-11-23.
Taken 5 marks. They have to find something in that forward 50 in this last quarter. With the personnel they have down there, the entries have been poor. But if they're going to win this game, they need some marks inside 50 in this last quarter. Carlton have been too good around the footy, had first use of it, and that's without Patrick Cripps having an influence on the game.
Blues are looking for their 7th win, which would equal the most of any season since 2013 when they last won 12 games for the year. So can the Giants get back in, or will it be the Blues? Remember, the Giants are playing for a spot in the top 8, given the result with Melbourne going down to Sydney earlier tonight. Umpire Nick Foote to get it underway with the perfect bounce in the last quarter. Can they break free? That's a little throw from Mumford.
Carlton.
And the Blues ball out of the middle will go the way of Ed Curnow. Look at Cripps short there. They all peeled off and went deep back inside 50. Now Curnow just pulls the kick a little bit. It was the right ploy to get Dow or someone to come forward to the footy. Betts is throw on the footy. They're away. Can they penetrate over the top here? Should almost still be in position. They're not. They've all moved forward. That's how quickly the whole forward line can move up the ground.
Doherty. Dangerous ball. Well done, Walsh.
Well, they've got to hold one back this quarter. They've got to win the game. Well, hold a forward back.
So make someone play in the 50 for the whole quarter.
I think so.
I agree.
Petrevski-Seton.
Thank you.
And the sideways one for Doherty.
And with that, Richo, Leon's done a bit of a change again. He's got Cameron, Riccardi, Himmelberg and Finlayson all playing up forward again. So I thought that would be the mindset. Have a deep forward down there and try and get a mark up forward in the 450.
Cripps has had a quiet night. Can he have a big impact in this last term? Whitfield back with the flight, couldn't hang on. Scramble. Heath Shaw tried to emerge with the footy. Whitfield did, but it was broken out of his hands. Walsh just got boot to ball, only just. And Eddie, a little tunnel ball. Casbolt, Walsh. Taranto came through. Cameron, speaking of people that have been quiet, what's he got? De Boer's got about 4 to beat in the air. Ground level, Daniels shoveled it back to Green. Green long inside 50. Numbers here. Riccardi can walk in. Big start, Giants.
What about De Boer? De Boer in the middle of the ground. We'll go back and have a look at the vision in a moment. Riccardi finishing, and he's looking a real likely prospect. So the same way they started the third quarter, they look like they're only 9 points adrift, Richo. That is nothing.
It is nothing, and that was crucial. The first goal was massive in this last quarter in a low-scoring game. Riccardi out the back. Can that get them going?
Have a look at this contest. 3-on-1, had to back into the pack, got absolutely crunched De Boer, but he made sure no one else marked it.
He got crunched, and the 2 Carlton players went to ground. So they were always in massive trouble then. As soon as you go to ground, you're a man down. Well, they were 2 down. The Giants got out the back.
And that's where they need to actually see the Toyota fan zone there. The GWS supporters know that they're coming hard and they can finish strong. But that contest there, Richo, you're spot on. You had Williamson coming in from the back, and then you had, I think it was Jones coming from the other. One of them had to stay down, and I would have probably said Williamson. He should have sat at the back of the contest and just made sure if any GWS players had a shot through, he could have caught him, and it would have been a foot race.
Murphy caught. He sort of ducked down into the Canelio tackle there.
King's underneath him. Can't make an attempt from there.
The Giants just give themselves a little snifter here. Umpire.
You know, like when you're laying on the ground like that and the ball's under you, the worst thing you can do is look at the umpire like, what's going on here? Because every time you get pinged, Murphy got away with that.
He thinks you're not trying. Yeah. Otherwise, little flick out. Here they go again. Taranto thought about the inside-out banana, straightened up with a more and better drop punt that made it easy for Riccardi to mark.
Well, that's the start. A contested mark inside 50. Haven't seen that tonight.
Right out. Go with him.
And it's Riccardi, the man of the moment, the rising star.
Right out here, guys.
Eddie, come out. Stay with him.
Just held that advantage on the advantage side and
15 gone.
then used. There's still a great contested mark.
It was.
That is great athleticism.
He just attacks it in the air. He's hungry to mark it.
To become the only multiple goal kicker of the night, Riccardi has drilled it through the middle, and guess what? They are back within 3 points. Oh, big goal from Riccardi. 2 in a row, and the Giants are back in business.
What about the swagger, Bristle? The grab and then just turning his back on the goal face and saying, leave it to me.
He's not the shy kid I knew at Calder. Goodness me. Wow.
And as you see this mark here from Riccardi, it was a nice run and jump. If anything, from Doherty's point of view, probably put a body on him a little bit early, but I think just shows the potential of what this kid has. And then to go back from 50 metres, a long bomb. They had some players on the line. They've learnt from before. They had a couple there shepherding, but what a nice goal. What I'm worried about for Carlton is Carlton last week against Collingwood had a really good first half, but as soon as Collingwood kicked a couple of goals, the Carlton blokes started to lose confidence. They didn't pull the trigger with their kicks and they stopped running. Let's hope they've learned from that last week and they don't stop running tonight.
So, Richo, you spend 3 quarters playing, football according to the way everyone wants you to play. Last quarter, you let them go, and what happens?
Well, you just got to play on instinct now. And Riccardi did that. He's just attacked it in the air, and then he went back and said, I'm going to kick the goal.
Handball.
It looks like he likes the moment, Riccardi. We've only seen him for 3 weeks.
He really got a real liking for the moment.
But he wanted that goal,
didn't he? He did. He wanted it. He wanted the mark and he wanted the goal. And
I reckon too many players now want to give it off, BT.
Yes.
And there's the heat map for Mark Murphy. Been really good tonight. Was good last week.
Coming hard are the Giants. Perryman, a little bit of his jumper held.
GWS, you got a flag of his jumper here, Ed.
Been a well-umpired game, this one. Handball off. Toby Green inside 50 with a long one. They get a good look here, the big forwards. Finlayson. Was there a little hold on his jumper? Nothing. Cripps went and found it. Tries to walk through. Look at the body strength as he gets that ball off. Petrevski-Seton then wide. That's nice, although dropped by Martin. Ash went and found it. Little one-on-one starting to go the Giants' way. Whitfield.
This is who you want, putting it inside 50.
Penetrating ball, looking for Himmelberg. He had a good piece too. Out of play.
Carlton.
I think Carlton free here.
Against Finlayson. Abuse.
And 50 metres as well. So this is going to hurt them. Richo Waller had the ball trapped inside their 50.
I think it was initially against Jeremy Cameron. That's a disaster.
Up to the next umpire for the Markies.
He's had a poor night, Jeremy.
He's going to give away another one here, Jeremy, if he doesn't get out of the way.
Wow.
He's got to get his head in the game at the moment. It's been a tough night for him. Things aren't going well.
If they get this over the top, which they may not here now, Pitnet's dropped the mark.
Holding the man.
Oh, they will now. So this gives them a chance to lock it inside. That's been the flavour of the game once you get it in your forward end. Paulson to Martin. Martin, a neat little ball to Walsh. Got to bravely go in front of Keefe. Now Keefe wants the boundary line. Kept it alive. Lloyd right near the boundary line. Blues don't want it to go out. Giants do. And they win. And they're closing fast, the Giants.
3 points.
That hurts them there. We've spoken about how Carlton's really struggled to get the ball out of their D50. So to give them up an easy one like that's going to be really frustrating for Leon.
2 goals in this term, both to Riccardi for the Giants. Lloyd wants to get the hands clear, then Whitfield. Just a high one. Himmelberg, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Ground level ball. Cameron got hold of Walsh. Himmelberg, little inching ball forward. De Boer's been good in tight. Cameron again, around the body. Brilliantly done, Perryman. Now then, if he can be clean, it's a Giants goal. And he is! The Giants at the front. Three in a row. And staggeringly, the Giants are in front in this game of football. Geez, De Boer's been good in some tight moments too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Big win on the outer side.
Very, very impressive, Matty De Boer. So they've kicked 4 of the last 5 here, JB. And this is remarkable. All of a sudden, playing some loose free footy.
Well, the desperation levels have just gone up by the Giants. Look at this here. Brilliant individual play here by Perryman. Great spoil. Their contested ball is up. They're winning it, and they've got some urgency and play on and
even the
energy.
A little block by Finlayson then just gave him an extra time to get ball to boots. Have a look at this. They go into the 8. This is the live ladder. That's where they currently are at Melbourne's expense. And Leon Cameron looking washed and worn out at the moment.
Who'd want to coach?
Goodness me, they've kicked 4 of the last 5, all 3 last quarter goals so far. They're on the charge. They're playing some free-spirited football at the moment, doing a good job. Hopper with a little win there. Won't be enough, though. Setterfield tidies it up. Can the Blues bounce back from here? This would be great if they could. Noons got an outside runner in Walsh. Walsh going to put this long, give them a chance. Short ball to Mackay. Couldn't hang on to it long enough. Haynes to tidy up. The orange Giants jumpers are everywhere with green.
I reckon when Carlton get possession next, they just need to take a bit of heat off just for a minute, just for 30 seconds or a minute. Regain a little bit of composure.
Green wants to switch. It's on. Long ball down the line. Hill. And it's thumped away by Jones. Massive 10 minutes left in this game of football. Big stakes. Spot in the 8 for the Giants. And for the Blues, they hang on to any hope they've got of playing finals in 2020 if they can get over the line.
You can see there GWS are overloading their attacking side and trying to hit backwards. Just trying to get a bit of momentum going their way.
Walsh went and found a good ball. Setterfield speculates with the handball. Curnow tough and hard. Casbolt. Not always the player you want kicking it inside 50, but Eddie gets corralled.
Throw in, no.
And a throw in.
Contributed.
Yeah, how nervous would you be just trailing Eddie in around those pockets? We've seen him kick some miraculous goals over the years in those situations. He did really well then.
Yeah, well,
did Ash.
Does tend to kick goals of the year from those positions if he can slide under the tackler, which he tried to do then. Here's Fisher, left foot, top of the square. Mackay punched away by Keefe. So they've kicked 3 in the last quarter. Before that, in 3 quarters of football, they could only manage 2. Really kicked 3 in about 8-9 minutes here. The Giants. So this is the forward end for the Blues. Betts lurking dangerously here. Can he get on the run? Casbolt, hands to the footy, picked up by Haynes, just made contact by Boot. De Boer, been superb here. Paddles it in front, waiting for help to arrive. Picked up in the end here. So GWS having a fine quarter. Riccardi tried to get it in favour of Lloyd. He's able to get rid of Petrevski-Seton enough to collect the ball. Here goes Hill. Over the top he marks. He says, I give up. And that should be 50. That should be 50. Paulson knocked the ball out of his hand a long time after he marked it. And that should be 50 metres. Why is it not?
Let's have another look then, BT. Just back there, Riccardi, he's a smart player. No, that has to be 50.
That 100%. Is unbelievable. He completes the mark. Ball knocked out of his hand. Hill says, come on, where's the 50? Nothing, sir.
Riccardi's knock on the wing, though, that was the piece of play that creates this. How good is he going, Riccardi? Smart player.
Bobby Hill to give them a 9-point lead for this kick and then set the Blues a real task, and he has nailed it. Hill kicks the goal, much to his delight and that of his teammates. So 4 in a row here for the Giants, leading it by 9, and it's almost turning into a mini avalanche.
Just shows you, Bristle, if you don't put a side with this sort of weaponry away, they only need to play 10 minutes of footy.
Yep, and it does say something, I reckon, about the way you should let players play.
As you see Doherty there just on the corner, he's got to be the last person for Carlton. He can't let any GWS bloke get behind him. He decides to come up to the contest. If he comes up to the contest, he needs to impact. All that happened then is he squeezed up, the ball went out the back, and it was a perfect kick for Riccardi, and then what a quality finish. That's the difference what I've noticed in Carlton so far this quarters. They're not as stable defensively behind the ball. GWS has been able to either get a hand in or get a kick over the back, and their ball movement going forward, especially inside 50, has been a lot cleaner.
Well, it's been quicker as well, Hodgie, and that's why they've been able to get out the back. They were so slow through those middle quarters of this game, and if you move it quicker up the ground, Carlton can't get the defensive structure they want.
Kicked 5 of the last 6 have GWS. Now got a bit of a stranglehold. What a Carlton got. They've got a big forward that works in Harry Mackay.
Right on it.
Have a deep breath, Harry. It's a long kick. Hasn't worked for him tonight. He's had 3 or 4 shots from 45 to 50 and hasn't been able to nail them.
Kicked 1 in the first term. That's across the face, not quite with the journey. Almost Petrevski couldn't hang on. And then Paddy Dow taken out of it, will have a ball in.
Gee, that nearly stuck, didn't it, for Petrevski?
Jeremy, yep, thank you.
They've got a stoppage right where they want it, the Blues. Find a way to respond to this 4-goal tear from GWS. To the front, Shaw, Kennedy. Well done, Fisher.
Hodgie, I've never seen a more clear example of letting a team play on their instincts, and the Giants in this last quarter, as distinct from structure. I mean, how does that work and why?
Yeah, you're right. From what they're doing here, it just seems like it's free-flowing. They can go in there, they can take a risk, they can run and carry, kick it inside forward 50. As you see, Cripps get another clearance. But here they go again. They've got it out of defensive 50, and they're just taking risks. Yes, they've got an intercept mark.
I think you start playing on when the game's getting away from you, you've got no other choice, BT.
Yep.
Hold there, play on.
Here's Setterfield, still not out of the Blues' grasp by any means. Wiedering looking to find a set shot for Martin, got it. So can Jack Martin go all the way here? He'll have to kick it from just on the 50 as Martin sends him back.
BT, if you look at how they got their goals as well, they've been slingshot and they're going fast, as Richo said, but they've been a bit more precise with their kicking. If you look at they've kicked 11 points in the first 3 quarters. They've just had a bit more composure going forward, but it's been a massive change from what we've seen in the first 3 quarters from them.
So Jack Martin,
has he got the range, BT? Jack?
Well, did you see one of the players come up to him, I forget who it was now, and said, mate, you've got this. So they reckon he has. Let's see. Martin, not with that kick, he hasn't. If it was more straight, he seemed to get under it a little bit. Off hands it comes, and the knock through was kept alive by Finlayson. Fisher, almost.
It's like a game of pinball there.
It was pinging around.
They tried to concede, and it bounced off a set of feet into dangerous places.
Stay clear. That's it. Hold that.
Williams, unsure where to go. Now he goes looking for Himmelberg. That's a really good mark.
Gee, it's just such a difference in a game when your talls can mark the footy like that.
Swinging ball wide for Green.
They didn't get any of that in the first 3 quarters, JB.
Where does Toby go here? That's steered towards Whitfield, and brilliant closing from Cripps to break it up.
I still reckon the Blues, they've only got to play 2 or 3 minutes of really good footy, Richo, and they're back in business here, so can't afford to be down on themselves right now.
Plenty of time, but they've got to take chances now. Can't be conservative.
Ed Curnow under pressure from Kennedy. Hopper, Mumford. Murphy, gee, Mumford didn't have it. He says, why didn't I get it? Hopper with a little spinner going inside 50. Cameron, Bobby Hill. Able to muscle the ball out. Walsh gets onto it, but none of these falling at the moment for the Blues. Kennedy banks it back inside 50. Now Doherty, can he get it out the other side? He looks out there immediately. Don't want to go back where the traffic is if you can help it. And he says, I'm going to have to.
And you asked why have they changed, BT.
Yep.
The Giants are winning the contested footy. It helps when you get your hands on it first as well.
Whitfield, Canelio.
Still the most important thing in the game. If you're not winning it.
To Himmelberg outside 50. And he's going to take as much time as he wants.
You're right. Carlton just can't do that, BT. You said they needed to switch, and they needed more players running. As soon as they took that intercept mark, there was only 1 or 2 Carlton players who ran for an exit kick. They need more blokes spread into the open side, because otherwise you're just going straight back into the Giants' numbers.
Locks the look at this. Himmelberg. He'll take a very good ball, and then he just sits it up. Fist at the front from McGovern. Wiedering. They try and keep the ball in. Doherty handballs, and the ball goes over.
You know what he did? He just milked 30 seconds. And the umpire had to be awake up to that. He could never make the distance.
Umpire has got to be onto that. He's got to measure it and say, no, mate, you're no chance.
Good on Himmelberg. Smart. Yes. Very smart. He marked it like it was a set routine he was going through. He was never having a shot, but he milked the clock perfectly.
Throw in. Mumford there. Walsh. Lloyd. Opportunity here for the Blues to clear. Williamson goes out wide. Martin just overran it slightly. Goes back, tries to apply the tackle there on that occasion. And Jones needs to mark and go. Hill was the front and centre. Gathers, little handball to Canelio. Snapshot got a bit too much bend on it. It was always heading in the wrong direction, that one.
Let him run.
Paulson.
He's got to run on, play on here.
Curnow's out. He's got Walsh running if he wants to come in board. He doesn't. He goes long instead. That'll be a free kick.
Drop the arm. Carlton.
Paddy Dow.
Hold there.
That gives the Giants a chance to get some numbers back, though, that free kick.
You see Wiedering just getting back up here. When Martin went for that smother, just jumped across and fell on Wiedering's left knee, so he's a little bit ginger getting up.
Short to Walsh. No goals in the second half last week. Carlton just 1 in the second half this week. Can they find something forward of the ball? Almost McGovern. Martin Martin front and centre, outside of the boot. He hits the wrong side of the ball. It turned into a drop punt.
Oh, he did hit the wrong side of the ball, JB. He was looking for the running right foot banana, which is a real difficult kick to kick.
Oh, extreme level of difficulty was 10 there, but what a crump.
Yep.
Gee, he hit it at beautiful, perfect pace.
Second time in 3 weeks that the Giants have scored more in the last quarter than they have in the game. So here's Jones really pressing high. Martin picked up by Simpson. His favoured left boot tries to hit up McGovern and just a little heavy, and Haynes need to hold it up here. Haynes kicks out wide. High footy, the jumper tug there. You saw it, so it'll be a Liam Jones mark here. Chance to go back again. So time now becoming a real factor. 250, they've got to kick 2 goals to win at the Blues. Jones goes deep, hoping someone can get onto the end. Cripps has gone deep as well. Picked up by Kennedy. Gives it off to Cornelio.
And then back to Kennedy. Thumps a long one out of there. Huge ball to win here. Riccardi tries to slap it forward. De Boer's been really good in this final term. Got into the back of Doherty. Paulson got to go quickly. Good ball for Walsh. Wide to Murphy. Inside 50. Across comes Cornelio. At the back, Eddie Betts. Got to conjure some magic. Murphy off a step. McGovern been quiet. Does Cripps keep it in? I'm not sure he did.
Well, you can't say they haven't had opportunities in this last couple of minutes, Carlton. They've gone inside 50 4 or 5 times and just haven't been able to find a target.
So after leading for the majority of the game, the Blues now find themselves 9 points adrift with 2 minutes to go. They've got a boundary thrown in their forward end, though. Pitnet docks it straight back to the boundary.
Get on with it, guys.
And we'll have another boundary throw in. So
I reckon in this situation here, you get your best contested mark taking this boundary throw in and try and treat it like a marking contest and grab it out of the air.
Pitnet decides not to do that. Mumford a little hand on it. Handball comes from Curnow. Green, just a clearing kick. He hopes it finds the boundary line, and it probably does, and it does in the end. So down under 2 minutes now, 9 points adrift, the Blues, and currently the Giants lie in the 8.
Look for Pitnet to either hit it long towards the boundary line or a little tap over your head on for a midfielder running past.
Got to make something happen right now. Slap to the front. Walsh can't keep it in. Minute 30. 9 points adrift.
How many numbers have they got back, Hodgie, the Giants? Is everyone back?
No, they've only got one. They've got Haynes, who's sitting back, and so have Carlton. I thought Carlton would have worked up and equalised the numbers.
Murphy, Walsh. There is Haynes, almost Casbolt with a fly. Green. Carlton players one holding the ball. They're going to get it. So McGovern
let him have the ball now.
Got to go back quickly.
Just wait.
Minute 13 left. They call time on. Stop the clock. McGovern sits it up. And Core with a big fist doesn't really connect. Well done, Himmelberg, to walk through.
Gee, Martin very nearly. A little stiff not to get one in the back there. Simpson appealing for the 3-0 on, so Doherty got to get it and go now. Paulson can't afford to go wide and short. Got to go a little more direct. He does that in good fashion. Who can get on the end of this? Cripps gathers, little chip at goal. He's Shaw standing in front. Did well, the Giants, under real pressure here. They get a clearing ball, so they stand up to that. They have been very impressive here in the last quarter, and a push by Williamson.
Riccardi, and that might be it. In fact, that's 50. That makes sure it's in.
You know what? Riccardi mightn't have had a heap of touches in this last quarter, but even that there, just being up there, being in front, draws the free kick.
He looks to have the footy smarts as well, doesn't he?
I think so, BT.
They have come from 15 points down in a low-scoring game at three-quarter time.
I reckon he'll jag this too.
And they are going to win this game of footy. He thought about giving it off there. Riccardi still does. Williams has come on. We're down to 13 seconds. They can just share the ball around here, GWS. And this is an important win. A long, long way from their best for 3 of the quarters, BT. But when it matters, when the final siren sounds, they are in front.
And they cling to a spot in the top 8, the Giants, under Leon Cameron, just signed a fresh deal. He's had a birthday, and after a bit of heartache, he has got them home. I think Heath Shaw wanting the football then, and the umpire saying you can have it if you want it.